Am I, 35F, being silly about the wedding cake topper with wife, 33F? In relationship for 6 years. Married nearly 2.5 years of that. Okay, in the grand scheme of things, this is quite minor. But I don't know. This hurt more than I expected. And I'd really just like a bit of perspective. Wife and I got married in September 2020. And it was the third attempt due to COVID. It was a little stressful, as it was the day before her visa expired. We were lucky to get the date. Without it, she would have been deported. Cutting it fine. Indeed, we could only have 5 guests, one of whom is my best friend. They made our wedding cake. Cake was awesome and tasty and just perfect. Apart from the matching buttonhole and fascinator, the only thing I kept from the day was the cake topper. A gold, sparkly heart with love written across it. It's flat, and about 8 centimeters by 8 centimeters. Bit on the tacky side. But hey, it was a really cute touch. So, we are having a declutter and my wife asked if I want to keep it. Of course I do. She is happy to bin it, saying she has memories and photo of cake. I'm really butthurt, because it feels like it didn't matter to her in any way. For me it represents so much. Help, am I too deep in my fifis? Or is my wife being brutal? Neither of you are wrong tbh, some people are just more sentimental about such things. If it makes you feel any better I'd keep it too. I am OP's wife. She told me about this post just after she made it and we've been reading responses together. Thank you everyone for your replies. You helped her figure out that it's related to our different levels of sentimentality when it comes to physical objects. I'm a photos person. She's a stuff person. We are all good and now she's going to make us tea. For significant events, people hold on to mementos to help remember and to commemorate. If I'd have to guess, when you don't keep a memento, for you it means the event has lost its meaning or never had much meaning to begin with. So her not wanting to keep it might feel like that's her perspective. And if that's the case, that might explain why it hurts. So I get that. The thing you miss is that for some people pictures work as mementos, while other people are like you, more tactile and want to keep small tokens. So I think it's possible the day is just as important to her, but you memorialize with tokens and her with pictures. If you can see that those two things are different but show equivalent interest in commemorating and remembering the day, it might help you to move past the hurt. Totally read that as butthole and fascinator, which would be a hilarious cake topper. If you go to the KonMari sub, there are all sorts of posts from people who seriously regret tossing that one silly, sentimental item. Sometimes photos aren't enough. Keep it. Use it for date nights and anniversaries and that Tuesday night dinner when you're stressed. It sparks joy for you, in a way a photo does not. It's not like you're going all Miss Havisham with the actual cake. Definitely too deep in the fifis. She just doesn't feel the need to keep the physical object in order to remember the day. The fact is, she asked if you wanted to keep it. She's recognized you're the kind of person that might. I'm a memory box girl. I have tons of stuff I sift through occasionally with a glass of wine and happy thoughts. But many people I know or have been with just don't keep physical stuff. I wouldn't overthink it. I'd just focus on the fact she didn't declutter mindlessly, she checked in with you. That is the most important part, as it shows you're unlikely to have your precious things binned in the future. You're not being silly for thinking or feeling it, but you're hurting yourself by dwelling on it. How much room does it take up? It's not like 3 feet tall, is it? Tell her it is important to you, and in decluttering lingo, it brings you joy. If she wants it out of sight, put it away so you know where it is. This should not be an argument. You are allowed to keep something you want. Find out why she doesn't. I have sentimental attachments to objects. My husband doesn't have any attachment to objects and is always throwing things away. He doesn't understand how I can pick something up and have such an emotional connection to it. So I get it. I am what people would call a minimalist. I don't attach emotions to stuff, so I'd not hold on to something like that to begin with. I don't think she meant anything by it, and I do not think you are being unreasonable at all. I can see how this would be very hurtful to you. I'd just tell her how you feel. It might also be a good idea for you to have a dedicated space, like a shelf or a box, or both, for your special things. This way she knows anything in that space is off limits. Dying a declutter. I'm a keeper too. All the special cards and little mementos. I do sift through them every now and then, and chuck what I'm okay without. But I get it. If this thing is important to you, tuck it away. You too are going to attach memories to different things. And for her, for this, the photo is enough. Tuck it in your nightstand. Maybe someday she'll be glad you kept it. Congratulations. Let's say you guys went on a hike. She enjoyed the time with you, memories you made, photos you took, and want to remember the trip that way. You want to remember the trip by bringing back a souvenir, say a rock, or something from gift shop, etc. Neither of you are wrong. You just enjoy it from different perspective. Nah, congrats on your marriage. I am the sentimental one. Married 30 years. Husband probably wouldn't realized it was even from the wedding cake to begin with. People are different. Mine is on my dresser near 11 years later. I'd probably be upset if I was told to junk it. Try to focus on how she cared enough about your feelings to ask if you wanted to keep the topper. She knew it could be important to you and made sure to communicate to know for sure. Some people don't form sentimental attachment to physical objects. It doesn't mean she doesn't care about you or your wedding day. Smile. Nobody's right or wrong. Different things hold different significance to people. I keep hardly any photos of anything or anyone, but I still have some art that my daughter made when she was 3 or 4. She's now 22. It's such a small, in size, item. It's not taking up any space. No harm in keeping it. Neither are wrong, but I'm with your wife. My wife, on the other hand, would keep it. One thing is certain. Your wife is not being brutal. 1. Keep it because it has strong memories to you. 2. Let her enjoy her photos. She would probably be upset if you threw out the photos. You are two different humans. You get to have different sentimental items. Now, while holding the crazy cake topper in your hands, go sit on the couch with her and look at wedding photos. I genuinely cannot understand why this is an issue. It's a tacky little cake topper. You have plenty of other memories. I'm not saying I don't understand why you would want to keep it. But I don't understand being butthurt because your wife doesn't think a piece of plastic represents your wedding or marriage or whatever. She has sentimental values about the wedding that differ from yours. Best advice is to keep both your things of sentimental value. She is not a rude or unsentimental wife. She just value other kind of things to remember stuff by. And you are not a too sentimental wife either for wanting to keep such a thing. Hell, I know PPL who kept the book, dried it and kept it in display to look at and remember their wedding. I wouldn't. I am not judging. If it has meaning for them, then good for them. I would keep the cake top too. But the book would be too much a hassle for me when cleaning. People hang on to memories and sentiment in different ways. I'm, perhaps, like your wife in that once I have the experience and the memory of that experience, I don't necessarily want or need a physical keepsake of it. There's nothing wrong with either way. Neither of you are wrong in how you do it. But people's brains work differently. And her way is not disrespecting yours.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.